Welcome to the Shuffle Curious podcast. I'm your host, Patty Lynch. Have you ever seen an amazing shuffler at a show or festival and wondered, how did they get started? How did they develop their skills? And who are they beyond the dance floor? Well, that's exactly what we're exploring in the show. We'll dive into the personal experiences of the dancers that make up our beloved community. We'll be learning more about who they are and what makes this dance so special to them. So, with that, let's jump into the show and let's get curious together. Hello to the Shuffle Curious community out there. This is going to be episode 20 of the Shuffle Curious podcast. And in this episode, I had the pleasure of speaking with my friend and crew member, Sedd Gomez. So this will be a continuation of the SideShowShufflers Series on the podcast. And who better but Sedd? He was gracious enough to house me on the days leading up to ShuffleCon. We kicked this interview at his place in San Diego, and then days later, we both went up to Los Angeles to attend ShuffleCon. And it was great to share space with him and to be able to conduct this interview because I've always been curious about, how Sedd started and, what his origins really were. And he was able to describe to me, that he's been a dancer pretty much all of his life. Since his parents were putting on music at a very young age for him, he would always get up and dance, even as like a toddler. And shuffling didn't really insert itself until Sedd unfortunately lost a close family member of his, which put him into a mental funk that, continued for many, many years. And to pull himself out of that, he looked towards dancing. A couple different dances come to mind. Memphis juking he was looking into, but also shuffling. And so he leaned into shuffling and really wanted to refine his craft in that. And it successfully pulled him out of that funk. But like many of us, he struggled to find his direction within the dance, to find what style he wanted to really emulate. And over the years, he's successfully kind of found his own unique style, which has been very cool to watch. So I really enjoyed this conversation. It was a really fun one for me and for Sedd, if I do speak for him. But I think you guys will enjoy it too. So without further ado, this is my conversation with my crew member and friend, Sedd Gomez. Enjoy. Sedd, what's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
Nothing much. Just chilling. I am here in San Diego this time around. We're not hosting the show in Denver, and I just want to thank you for hosting me. I got here 2 days early for ShuffleCon. We will both be in attendance. I'll be leaving tomorrow to head up there and just get settled in. But thank you so much for hosting me and just kind of giving me the opportunity to settle in here. And because I'm hella nervous, dude. Just for all things considered, just like the showcase that we'll be doing with Sideshow. There's always like that little bit of performance anxiety.
That song got my blood flowing.
No, we'll be vibing to that song.
Oh, yeah.
We've got something special for the showcase. But then also just like the Shuffle Curious stuff that I'll be doing with ShuffleCon. Just playing kind of a media role. I'm a little bit nervous, so like this is helping me just kind of settle into the environment. And it would suck having to take a direct flight to LA and the day of ShuffleCon and then have to like settle in within hours.
It takes like a day to unwind and get yourself settled and run around because that's like a little too hectic.
Yeah,
I'd rather just show up unless me. I'm grateful that I live right here, so we can just like, all right, let's drive up the day of. So.
Yeah. I have not been to LA yet. I've only been to like San Bernardino, which, I guess some people might consider that close enough, but, but, we also have some things in store, tonight. You're putting together a Shuffle and Flow, meetup. So I'm really excited for that. That'll be a lot of fun. And, I don't know. Is this just for me? Is it, it's because you have a special guest in town that you're throwing this together?
It'd be always good to like connect with the community. Because that's why I was like, what do you think we should do? Go to this event or like, if I post it, they will come.
Yeah.
So like, I was just like, all right, it'd be low key, nothing crazy this one, but like, because normally we do like the whole setup, but like, you know, people have been busy and traveling, so like just trying to adhere, just bring it back to the days where we just bring a speaker and just a few lights and just have a good time.
Dude, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. As soon as you mentioned that, I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Well, it is Thursday, and someone's always gonna ask, like, is there a meet today? I was like, well, yes, there is.
Now there is. Got it. And it's super cool what you guys do with Shuffle and Flow between you, Jolie, and Joey, correct? You're kind of the minds behind it.
Jolie's the founder, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, but she just left us, so she handed it over to me and Joey. It was like, hey, and we're gonna keep that going. It's a little iconic spot, and it's great. So just gonna keep almost on year 3 at that same location right now.
Got it. Well, it seems to be in good hands. So
yeah.
You know. But as for you, you know, this is about you. This is another piece of the Sideshow series. You know, like we both got inducted into Sideshow at the same time, so it's cool to be sharing this experience with you. And our history kind of goes back a little bit. You know, I think you had a couple more years under your belt when we first met. I still felt like I was very much like a shuffle toddler, but I met you when we were both in Denver at the Shuffle Wisdom event that Jolie had hosted, kind of with in partnership with the Mile High Shufflers, essentially. And you actually corrected me. I thought that we had met at Crossed here in San Diego initially in 2022, the spring Crossed. But you corrected me and were like, no, we definitely met.
Remember that onesie, man.
Yeah, yep, the onesie, and then like you were Chef from South Park as well. And I was like, and then it was total recall. I was like, yep, actually, you know, you're absolutely right. So because I remember that now because when I did go to Cross, you were a familiar face then, you know what I mean? And we kind of had a little bit of rapport. And then you and Emily Kim helped introduce your fam here to me. So it was good to meet everyone that you guys rolled with there. So it's super cool that this is kind of like a full circle moment. Now we're in the same crew. Like, you know, we didn't really have affiliation with another crew, and even with me, I was like, you know, not really even in the collective yet of Mile High Shufflers. So now I think we're more so immersed in the shuffle community now than ever. So it's cool to see both of our progressions throughout the years. So with that, you know, the show is very much about you and introducing you to the community. So let's start off with like what your background is. You know, where are you originally from, and how long have you been in this shuffle community in San Diego?
Well, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I spent a lot of years, like, you know, in Pennsylvania afterwards. I graduated high school in Pennsylvania. Then I moved here when I was about 23, 10 years ago. It's going to be 10 years in December. And I started shuffling probably a little bit before I moved here. But, like, I really don't count those years because I was just, like, doing it here and there. Like, learned a little bit. But, like, when I moved here is when I actually started, like, shuffling more. And, like, at first it was like, oh, I'd, like, go to the event and shuffle there. And I'm like, okay, I've ran into people that were, like, super good. And I was like, I feel like I need to get better before I start doing this shit. You know what I mean? So I started practicing more and more. And when I left San Diego and moved up to Northern California, that's really when, like, I battened down and, like, really started shuffling because there was nothing to do.
When was that?
I believe it was like, I think I left in like 2015 and then came back for like 6 months and then went back up, and I moved back here. And it was after Shuffle Wisdom, Utah, a month after that in 2021. No, Denver in like, I think it was November 2021. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Or October 2021.
Yeah, but I moved here like November, like the week before. I moved the week before Thanksgiving.
From North Cal to then San Diego.
Yeah, okay. So it was literally like me driving down, and I like took a screenshot and posted it, and then everybody was like, "Oh my what? And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm coming back to San Diego, this beautiful place that I love.
Got it, man. Yeah. So, just backpedaling a little bit, just for the audience to know you a little bit more. I always like to ask, how were you as a child? Like, what was
Like, what
your?
do you mean child? Like, you mean like pre 10 years old or like after that?
Well, you tell me. Like, what would be the best representation of you? Kind of now, but as a child, that could be an adolescent. That could be.
I just gotta like thank my parents for just like always instilling in my head that like, never let your skin color stop you from doing anything. So I pretty much did anything that came to my head. So like, like I was like the first kid on the block to get a skateboard and bust his ass on a skateboard, scooter, do all the little fun things. And then when I got older, I was just like, I started doing like, I was in karate a lot. I did Viennese Jiu-Jitsu and Okinawan Shorin-ryu, and I did a lot of that in my high school years till I moved from the East Coast. So like before that, and then I played sports in high school. I played football, and like I was just, the guy that was just trying to have fun and just have good people around all the time. But I definitely would like get in the shit. But, yeah, but like, I always loved to dance and do my thing. And that was like, dance has always been like a super positive thing for me in my life. So I always like ran back to that.
Did you have any like formal training in dance or, any hip hop classes in like high school or
not really?
Like
Because considering like everything, like growing up for me, everything was hip hop and like calypso and soca. And like when I was younger, when I was like a little baby in Trinidad, they used to always call me a little whiner man because like, music would come on, I start dancing when I was like, in my diapers and shit.
Got it. So it was always kind of in your bones. Or were either your parents dancers?
No, not really.
Not quite.
No, but like my memories of them is always them dancing.
Okay.
What I mean? Always having a good time because my dad used to mix records and like, soca, calypso, and like the first house track I've ever heard was a song that my dad played, and I think it was like, it's like a Hardwell track or something. I remember I said I was gonna look it up, and I forgot to do it.
It's all good. We'll put it in the show notes like afterwards. Like we'll find it and throw it in there.
I know the song too. They did it. They always sample it. Sample of the sample of the sample.
Okay.
But it's there.
We'll pay homage to it one way or another. That's awesome. So yeah, it looks like maybe this was the start of your shuffle journey, just like having the inclination to dance, being encouraged by your parents to like go, like to follow your interests and to like not let anything really, hold you back. So, what did life before shuffling, look like? Well, like what were kind of like the precursors to a shuffle journey? And that could also just like, lead up to the inspiration to start shuffling too.
Well, like I used to ride motorcycles a lot, and I used to still dance, but it was basically like my dad passed away when I was 20, like right after my birthday, right? And I went into like this super depressed state, and I was just like, I'm a pothead, stress eat. I would just smoke and just eat food and just lock myself in my room, and I did that for like a few years, you know what I mean? And then like I gained hella weight. And I was just like, I want to like start doing stuff to get more active. And then we danced a little bit, this and that. And then I came across, I think it was like a Moonboy video. Cause I started raving, and then I came across like Moonboy shuffling. And then like first thing I did was like on YouTube, I started looking around, and I was looking for like, just like black people. Like I was just like, all right, like where's the representation at? And then I came across
the influence. Like,
then I came across Turtle from Hard Dance Criminals, and that's when I was just like tripping off that, because like growing up I loved Michael Jackson. The way he glided on the floor was just like, yo, what the hell? And I even tried to like pick up Memphis juking, and I want to try that because the way they glide on the floor is just crazy,
so smooth,
so crazy. It's just like, bro, like where are your ankles? Like what? Like it's just like, dude, like it looks like an ostrich head, like it's crazy. So. And I just seen him start like gliding across the ground like that, and I was like, damn, that's sick. And I was just like, and it was different, and I'm like, I need to do that. So like I just started practicing that by myself, and it just really progressed from there. Like I just like, it's a trip. Like I've never been on a podcast or anything, just to even like be in a shuffle crew. Like I never even like would have thought it would even like would have went that far, because it was just me dancing to music that I liked and just expressing it the way I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was mainly like that, like came up to it, and then moving to San Diego and meeting more people that shuffled was just like, oh shit, there's actually people out here doing this shit. Like that's what's up. Like,
It was like tied into your social circle, one way or another. And do you feel like, once you found that there was a community wherever you nested, San Diego or North Cal, did you feel like there was almost like accountability to then like starting to get better because you started to see other people?
Yes, but like when I first moved here, I didn't really know any shufflers. The first shuffler I met down here was actually Jolie, and we were at a mutual friend's house party, and I was shuffling, and then she came up and started shuffling. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, who are you? That's sick as fuck. Like, that's how I met her.
Oh, okay. That's a cool way of being.
So like that's how it was. And then like, I would go out to different places, and I worked at Spin nightclub for a while, and I seen people shuffling there too, but they were not so like, they were a little they weren't like, they were, I don't know, when you get it, like I feel like they were like, you can't dance with us.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I don't take nothing that to heart. Like, it's not that serious, But like, I was just having a good time, and it'd been cool to meet them. But like, it is what it is.
They weren't giving off the vibe
definitely wasn't.
of an invitation to do so.
I don't care.
Yeah. But at the same time, you know what I mean? That might not have been the best representation or vessel for you to see shuffling. You know what I mean? In an exclusive light. Because that's pretty far from the truth. You know what I mean? Overall, like the community in general, I think is very inclusive, and it's an inviting group of people. Like all of us are pretty stoked to see someone new that we don't like, someone else to dance with. Essentially, I think we all get pretty stoked on that. So, it was. Do you think that might have seeing that? Do you think it might have left a bad taste in your mouth about shuffling, or was it kind of just like whatever, you know what I mean?
I mean, it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth, but I know how people are, so like at the end of the day, like that's their issue, it's not mine.
Got it.
So like to me, I just wanted to get better. Like it's just like, okay, like you guys, all right, I'm gonna just get better by myself and level myself up. And
were you shuffling at that time?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it.
That was at, I remember it was at Spin nightclub. I forgot who was playing, but I remember it. Like I really remember that. Like. You know what I mean? So like I was like, whatever. I'm gonna keep dancing. You guys could sit there and like do whatever y'all doing. Like dance too. I want people to dance with me. Like that'd be great. But
let's backpedal just a little bit. So you saw those videos with like Turtle, because I mean he very much has like a hard style type of. He was wearing the fat pants and all that stuff in the videos that you were showing me before. When did you actually make the like conscious decision to start shuffling and start practicing? Like your first attempt at the Running Man and the T-step, was it shortly after you saw those videos?
Yep. I had when my dad passed away, I had bought a house. So I was just like, my whole goal was like, I want to move to California. So I'm like, I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to renovate it. And in a few years, I'm going to sell it, take all my money and move to California. You know what I mean? So it was just like literally like right after that in my living room. It's not too long after that. Like I went on a deep dive, and I'm just on YouTube, just like watching everything. And I'm like, all right, like might as well try that. And then like, that was like, probably like, I don't know. I think it was like 2011 when I was like trying it. Like, but like I really didn't like commit until like 2013, early 2014 when I like moved here.
Okay.
So like, I used to do it. I learned how to like, just like T-step and like do the Running Man and T-step, but nothing too serious. Just that. And then I came across like Papa Turnt
Mm-hmm.
I came across his videos and I was just like, damn, like my man was dressed up as an old man walking out with a cane and proceeded to just slay. And I was like, shoo. And I was like, all right, that's when I got like another idea of seeing like shuffling with like not in the fat pants.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, I could fuck with that. I was like, I like that. I'm nothing against people that wear fats, but like, you know, it's not me. But like, I was like, that was fire. And then I came across like Tuple and Tenchi, and there was just like, it was like, I feel like in 2013, 2014, there was like a lot of blooming shuffling, because like even from Europe, that's when I seen like a lot of cutting shapes, like, you know, again, looking for representation, like Cassidy Chaps and Professor Shapes. Like I'm watching these guys in the UK just they're shuffling, but they're doing it a different way. I'm like, whoa, they really boogieing over there. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, like that's what's up. So it's just like pretty cool. And I was just trying to find what direction I wanted to go with my shuffling, because then that's when it was just like I'm being exposed to all these different styles and people, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So it kind of put me in a little mental block for a little bit.
Just trying to choose which style you more gravitated towards.
Yeah, because I was just like, you know, just looking around and, you know, just like, it was just like looking around at just Papa Turt and like D-Hop and Tenchi's shit. And I'm just like, that's fire.
Yeah, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah, and then it's just like, then when I came across like Cassidy Chaps and Professor Shapes, that's when he used to run like Pattern House with the kids, and I like, you know, a bunch of little kids just like cutting it up, and I was just like, yo, this is crazy, like, yo, there's really a movement behind this. So like I was like, damn, like just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Like I remember that, like I was just like in a block, like I don't know where I want to go with this, but like I want to feel good when I do it.
Yeah.
But that took me a little bit to like get out of that. But then, you know, I found my flow and my style.
When do you think that occurred? You know, that you felt very comfortable with the direction that you were heading in your own dance as it pertains to shuffling?
I believe it was like 2016, 2017, around then. Because it was just like I was up in NorCal. I believe I was at Humboldt at that time. And like Arcata, and I was living at my buddy's house and had a nice like little speaker system, and I used to just dance all day. If I was not doing anything, I would just dance all day. And then I started like just getting better, and I started looking up like Melbourne videos and different styles, you know, and like I just kept watching, and I was like, all right, let me just try to imitate things that I see, because I was looking at just like all different styles. Like I literally like used to watch Soul Faction videos back in the day, and then like I remember coming across like old FTS videos with DeFea and Shoji and Nova, and just like my eyes are just like, yo,
yeah,
what, like. So it's just like me just taking all of this information in and trying to spew it out myself.
Got it. And you felt like you'd formulated some kind of, you know, interpretation of all those influences into your style, and then you felt very comfortable with it at that time. Very, very cool to hear about, man. Yeah, it's I know that can be a mental block for a lot of beginners. Like when they're starting, like there's so much information out there. It's not, we're past the YouTube age now, where there's like a couple videos of shufflers out. Now we're being bombarded with so many like Instagram reels and just, you know, it's so available now that it can kind of create that like analysis paralysis of like, all right, what do you want your flow to actually look like? I know for the longest time I wanted to cut shapes, you know what I mean? Because that's all I was exposed to. And then, you know, eventually I found like more of a Melbourne, like steezy kind of style. And that's kind of what I now gravitate towards. So, but it took me a minute to like figure all that shit out. And but it's a lot of fun once you kind of know what feels good, you know, in your own body and how you want to express yourself to the music. So it's very cool to hear about, you know, all that and how you kind of found it, you know, throughout. But what were I just want to kind of pivot a little bit. what were some of the initial moments, experiences that really resonated with you throughout your shuffle journey? Maybe that's like level ups that came through. Maybe it was times where you really connected with the community and you knew that you wanted to stick around and like kind of make this less of a hobby and more of a lifestyle.
Well, I think like my first time was like basically when like that I've met more than one shuffler was when I was in the Bay and I was gonna go to Audiotistic Bay Area, and unfortunately that's like no longer a thing. So I was like, damn, that sucks. But I was posting on Radiate trying to find people that shuffle who wanted to go shuffle there.
What is Radiate?
It's like a little festival app.
Okay.
So like I actually met like a few of my close friends on there, which is like pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like people I met like 2-3 years ago that like we literally like talk, and then they'll be like, oh, like, you want to go to like ARC? Let's go together, like type shit. So it's just like, all right, that's hella cool. But I went there and I was at like the side stage, and Camel Fat was playing, and I was shuffling, and I turned around like as I'm shuffling in this little area, and I was by myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I turn around, and there's this like little ass muscular dude just like hella recording me, and he was just super stoked, and it came out to be Jasper Dances.
Oh, okay.
And he was like the first person to like ever like record me and just like acknowledge, and he was with our friend Edith, and just like his whole vibe and their vibe was just dope. And I was just like, yo, like, send me that video, let me get your contact info. And it was like ever since like then, because like, you know, if you've ever met him, like he's like a super like stoked guy that's always just like, you know. So,
I have not had the pleasure.
he's always one of those guys, you know. So it's just like it's a good guy to be around. So like that was like my first like real introduction to like other people, and plus he was getting down too. So I was just like, oh hell yeah.
You respected his opinion about you because
so
like
was
he
getting
backed it
down.
up.
I was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean. So I was like, that's hella dope. So that was like a big thing. And then just hanging out with him introduced me to more people in the Bay Area shuffling, like my buddy Charlie. I met the guys from Filthy Styles, like Raj and Flo, Raquel. Then I met, I didn't meet her up there. But yeah, it was just pretty cool, like just running into like all the people up there. And then I met a few people from FTS up there too. And it was just pretty cool, like, just like, I'm like, oh, there's really a community. And I started going to these events, and I'm always seeing these little events. And we created this little little Instagram group with like all the people that shuffle in the area, and we're trying to like get meetups and start little meetups everywhere, you know what I mean? So it just like grew from there. And then what happened? I think then COVID happened. And then I just really like set up my garage. Like I moved into this guy's house. He's a cool dude, like, you know, our age. And cleaned his garage up. He had a nice little couch in there, put that against the door because he never opens his garage. And he had like a bunch of spare mirrors everywhere. So I'm like, yo, I'm turning the garage into a fucking dance studio.
Yeah, this is a Sedd studio.
No one uses the garage. I'm going to start using it now. So
Yep.
it's like, raise your hands if you have an issue with this. No one? Cool. If you want to dance, let's go. And that's how, like, you know, in like the little area I was living at the time, Santa Rosa, when I moved down a little bit, that's where I was like trying to like start a little shuffle community there, because there's like a lot of bass heads over there and like flow artists. Like everyone, their mother has a hoop. Like,
got it.
It's just like you can just go somewhere and like you have to jump through hoops to get through a crowd. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but you were trying to convert them to
to see the way. You know.
Yeah. Got it. So you would have people over to your improvised studio, and you would sesh there.
Yeah, so like I started like posting, and like I would always shuffle all over the place. Yeah, so I went from like Humboldt, then I moved back down to San Diego, then I moved up to like Lake County, then moved to Santa Rosa. So like the whole time, like, you know, that whole time was just like I'm shuffling, and then that's when I first found out about Olivia, oh man, and then Donovan when he was Fogchild, because he was posting shuffle videos in Humboldt, and I'm just like, I thought I was the only person that was shuffling in Humboldt, you know what I mean? So like, and then I seen Olivia, she was posting videos. She posted a video from like Eureka or like Ukiah or something, and it's like that, like Ukiah's like an hour away, and I'm just like, wait, what the hell? Like, there's people that shuffle in the woods too, like me. Like, what the fuck? Like, so that's when I met those people. Like when I came across them, and I met them at Shuffle Wisdom, and I met Donovan at Movement last year. But I met Olivia at Shuffle Wisdom Utah.
Okay, got it. And for those who don't know kind of what transpired at Shuffle Wisdom Utah, can you kind of just describe like the thought? I know that you're pretty close with Jolie, like the thought process behind Shuffle Wisdom Utah, and then just like the execution of it, you know, how it all manifested.
That was creme de la creme. Everything down to like meeting everyone who I was following, spending like 4 or 5 days in Utah. Granted, it's hot as fuck out there. Like, you know what I mean? But it is pretty. And damn, I'm really dropping the ball on that park we were at.
The location, what it was called.
Yeah.
Oh, is it because it was a national park, right?
Yes.
That you guys were in?
Well, sorry I forgot about this, but it was absolutely stunning. And just being there and just like dancing with like Anjuna DJs, the whole setup we literally like went there, found the spot, like chose a different spot, and we're out there with like, I remember just being out there in all white and trying to like shovel a little spot so we can like have a flat surface so we can put the dance floor down. And I'm wearing all white with my shirt tied on my head, moving dirt. This is amazing. Like it's like just a dance, like. And then the day after, we had like a Zen day where we went and did meditation at this guy's farm, and he had all the animals. Like, you know, he had like peacocks, llamas, like the friendliest llama in the world. But like, I'm not trying to get close to them. I seen them spit on people.
Yeah,
so I'm not trying to
bite them and
I'm
stuff.
trying to just watch. Like, you know, I could love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, but I don't really know you. We might have to meet each other on like
a couple times.
With your
Build some
owner,
rapport,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't like to just walk up to random animals and pet them without their consent.
Understood.
You know what I mean?
Understood.
So
that's classy.
Yeah. So so that's like that whole time, and that's when I got to meet Migs, got to meet Ulysses, Fino Sosa, Donovan, got to meet Olivia there. Jasper was there because I brought him. I was with Susie Shuffles, Jess Aries, and Edith Bear. We all drove, like, I literally just like got a rental car and we drove from San Jose straight to Utah. It was like 11 hours.
Got it.
And that whole experience was just like really just fueled my life. It like kind of like I feel like it was like everything just budded from there, and it was just like me wanting. I had stopped shuffling for a little bit, and I'm like, all right, let me I'm like trying to get back into it. But like that right there was the experience that I needed, and like I don't think I'll ever get an experience like that again in my life. Like, it was super dope. Like the whole just words cannot express like. It was just like people that I've been following that I think they're hella cool, and they turned out to be hella cool on top of that. And we're spending days together going doing stuff and going around dancing at different events, just like meeting and getting to know each other on a more intimate level, which built a lot of bonds out of there. Like everyone and anyone that went there, they already know, like, you got a spot at my house whenever, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if I know you're gonna air in an area and I come to that area, I'm definitely gonna hit you up and be like, yo, what's up? Like,
yeah. It sounded like an event and a experience that you guys all shared.
Yeah, that's where I met Araya for the first time. And we did like this dance in the house, like it's definitely on video, where we did like this mirror, and we like, it was the mirror. You know? We were like, oh shit, like what the hell? Like that was dope. And that was like how a lot of people were connecting there. It was just like a really great experience, and I would definitely hold that to my heart for a long time.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, man. Because I've talked to some of the Mile High Shufflers about that experience. I'm pretty sure Araya went, Emily Kim went. I'm not sure who else from there, but those are the only two conversations that I know that I've had. But it seemed like it impacted them on such, on the same level that what you're describing. Everyone who seemed to shared that experience kind of has the same impression about it, and that makes me think, like, why haven't we done something similar to it again? I think that would be really, really cool to have that kind of experience, whether it be similar in the format of it, but maybe in a different place, like a different natural setting, but also having that space to kind of have a retreat surrounding it as well. Was it one of those things, just like a logistical question, I guess, was it one of those things that like everyone kind of like threw up money for the Airbnb and like okay, got it.
There was like 50 of us, so like, we had like 2 like dope ass little mansions, and it was just like that whole experience was just like, and that was when I first met Jay too. That was just like a lot of things, just a lot of people that first met, and now we're just like hella tight, just family
bonded,
same.
Yeah, nah, dude, that's amazing. And it sounded like you met a lot of these people and shufflers, and then you continued to have experiences with them throughout. So I know that you were seeing a lot of them throughout the years and whatnot, and you were also dancing with some of your to-be crew members as well.
Yep.
So what like kind of led you, is that one of the experiences that led you to start thinking about Sideshow as a potential crew?
I've seen Sideshow around for like a while previously, like way before that. So like I always thought like, the motto, "You can dance with us," was hella dope. It was super cool, inclusive.
Yeah.
And then just the main fact that there was different styles of shufflers in the crew. That was like one of the big things, because, I know like a lot of crews like have like almost like one particular style, but like, some people feel some type of way about that. And like, it was just like, all right, you can dance with us. There's so many different, I'm like looking at different videos and there's so many different styles. And I'm like, I like that. That's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's like bringing like different walks of the shuffle community together,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Got it. So what was, it seemed like you started to get your bearing on, what Sideshow was all about, and maybe Shuffle Wisdom Utah kind of helped solidify that, just at least getting to know the members of the crew. What was the moment where you knew that the next opportunity to be a part of Sideshow, you wanted to take it and run with it?
The moment was a lot of the people that I was near and dear to, that I still am, are in Sideshow. So like, like it was like Olivia, Kenya, Joey. I met Kevin a few times, super cool dude, you know what I mean? Like he hooked me up with like Moon Boots tickets on my birthday. Just like, it was just a great like guy. And then that was mainly and I had met like Daniel like once or twice. And I was just mainly because like the people that like I think that I know actually that are genuine people are representing and being a part of that crew. And I was just like, I would love that. I would love to be with y'all, because I see y'all as family and I love y'all. So like that was like the main thing. And I remember like it was like a tryout like maybe 1 or 2 years ago. I think it was tryout, and they did like a tryout January 2021. I didn't even know, and then they had like a little small meetup in the Bay, and it was at Halcyon. I believe like Leighton Giordani was playing, and I went there, and I already knew like everyone, and I went up to Daniel and I was like, "I'm gonna join your crew," and then he was just like, "I love you, but you didn't try out," And then he's just like, well, next time, if we have another tryout, like, better make sure you do it. And I was like, I will. So
Yeah.
next time around, it was Murder, She Wrote. I was like, you already know what time it is, buddy. So that was like pretty good for me. Like, I was just like, hell yeah. I was like waiting for it for a while.
Yeah. And I remember seeing you at ARC last year, after we had both submitted our runs for the tryouts. And I remember you were hella excited and confident that you felt like you had got in, and that this was something that you had wanted for a very long time.
Oh, bro,
and,
when you work for something, you know, like, you can't, like, that's one thing about me. Like, I know when there's like, when you're certain, you're like, when I'm certain, there's nothing else. Like, there's nothing else. Like, I'm definitely, it's like, hey, I'm gonna work to get to this position in life. I'm going to get that. Like, there's no telling me no. I'm making that my reality.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just like, that was just a taste of that. Like, yo, I already know. Like, you ain't even gotta tell me, bro. Like, I put in enough work. You know what I mean? I built a relationship with these people. I love these people, and it's like, I've been working in my own dance, expressing myself, trying to be a better version of myself every single day, and that in terms with your dancing. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, I listened to the podcast with Miggs, and he said depends on how he's gonna shuffle, depends on what he's gonna eat in the morning. That literally plays into the same thing, So it's just like, you start wanting to be better at certain things, it's gonna trickle down into like everything else you do. Because you're not like me, I'm not like one directional. So like, I want to be like here, not just flat playing, So that's why I just knew.
Yeah,
and here we are,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, of course. Well, your intuition was right, at that moment in time. What was the feeling like when you got into the crew?
When I got into the crew, I was like, all right, this is the next chapter of my life. I moved the fuck out of my place that I was living that same day. I packed everything up, and I was like, this place is bullshit. And I literally packed all my shit, took my little cat tuna, and I just put my shit in the hotel room, and I began looking for a new place to live. So I was just like, okay, like, this is something I want to do. And let me move on to the next part. I was like, all right, I got into the dance crew I want to be in. I don't like my living situation. I'm going to be positive off that, me getting into the dance crew I want. I'm going to take that positivity and push it towards me getting a new place. Right now.
Momentum.
So I'm going to apply that. So I applied that. Now I'm here in this place. I'm pretty happy. So that's like just meeting everyone and traveling. Like, Dream State was a whole ass vibe. Like, I love seeing everyone there and that was just, I'm not really an Insomniac person, but like the Dream State vibe was just the crew and everyone that comes there. I love that. That was super fun.
Dude, we rolled in like thick with the crew this past year. That was a lot of fun to be repping and rocking Sideshow with so many of us there, and to kind of just enjoy those vibes, especially when we all jumped in the circle with the Shuffle Wisdom meetup. That
had
was
to
there.
set that off.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you were the one. You were there was just small whispers to everyone wearing the triangle, like, hey, we're all about to jump in and like hijack this circle. Yep. Yeah, but no, it was so cool. And at Dream State, it gave me an appreciation for the crew that I was in when I just saw everyone going the fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, everyone, and like you said it yourself, like, Sideshow is very diverse in the styles that everyone kind of brings to the table, and just seeing everyone performing their craft and none of them looking similar. You know what I mean? It's all very unique. It was very endearing to see that, and it gave me a newfound respect for the crew, and then also just made me very proud to rep the crew at that time. So it was super cool. It was super cool to be doing that with you because just a couple months back we were at ARC. I wasn't sure if I had gotten in. You were very confident, but then to be rocking the triangle a couple months afterwards with you, it was a very cool full circle moment, I feel like.
Oh yeah, I think like my best full circle moment in Sideshow was seeing Perez get into Sideshow, because back when like it was like COVID times and I was shuffling in my garage, he came to my house because he was really good friends with my landlord at the time, and he was just like, "What the fuck? That's sick. Can you teach me that?" And like,
it was his first time shuffling at all. Oh, okay, he was your Padawan.
Yeah, my little Padawan is in Sideshow with us. So like, you know what I mean? So like, I started like, "Hey dude, like I'm taking you out. Let's go." Take him to all these different shit, and then I remember like showing him people that I think are dope, and I remember he was just like, "Dude," he's like, "That girl Olivia's hella good." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I met her. She's like hella dope." Like, and I was like, "I'll introduce you guys," like this and that, and like going to like little meetups to him as a little shuffle baby. And then I remember like when the tryouts came, he called me and was just like, "Do you think I should try out?" And I was just like, "I feel like you would regret it if you didn't." Like, I was like, I wouldn't lead you anywhere. I was like, "You're a great individual as a person. You're great." It's like, he's like, "But like being in a crew is not just being a good shuffler. It's being a good person on top of that." And especially like Sideshow is really built on, treating others the way you want to be treated, showing love, and being inclusive even to people that aren't in our crew. So like that was pretty dope. Like, seeing him get in there in that dream state, like I was like, "All right, I see you, little bruh." Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Look at him. Oh shit."
Yeah, and you might have been the extra push that he needed to.
Oh yeah,
like,
he definitely called me, and I was like, "Bro, you better get your ass on your feet, bro." You feel me? Like, so.
No, it's very cool to hear that, you lifted some people up along the way, your journey. Because it's like this career has benefited me in many ways. You know what I mean? I've gained so many friends from it, and I have a closer line of communication even with the people who I haven't met yet. But I know that they're good people because, like you said, like that's kind of the foundation of what Sideshow is. And like, look at us now. Like you were gracious enough to like open up your house, to me and to host me. And, I think it was really built with the familiarity that we had of being in the same crew. And of course the history, along with that as well. And I had mentioned, as we were walking back to your crib, we had to grab some stuff, some equipment for the podcast and then for ShuffleCon. And, I feel very obligated to extend that back to you. You know what I mean? When you're in Denver to like kick it would actually be like my pleasure. So just these symbiotic relationships.
I definitely want to come back out and go to Meow Wolf again. I want to experience another Meow Wolf. Like that was.
Did you go there when there was a show or just when the exhibit was there?
Just when the exhibit. I would love to go when there was a show because I always see like Desert Hearts plays there. And I love Desert Hearts.
Definitely go when there's I think they call it the portal nights. It's like they've got like 4 stages within the exhibit.
I'll jump through any portal in that building.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun kicking it there because it's 2 in 1. You can go vibe to the music and then you can go on side quests throughout the exhibit. And for those who don't know what Meow Wolf is, it's just like it's a very big, confusing, psychedelic, just a left field type of art exhibit, and you can get lost in there, and there's so much like that you can do. But they on certain nights they plant certain DJs or DJ lineups, and it's a lot of fun for shufflers to go and just really just fool around. So maybe we can get a trip going for when they have another one or a couple big names.
I'm about it. I'm already there, bro.
Yeah, I won't tempt you with a good time.
Of course.
That's awesome, man. And so Sideshow has I think provided a lot of value to you throughout the years. San Diego has a pretty large Sideshow chapter here as well, and it seems like you guys are really like the focal point of the community here. You know, a lot of, or you and Joey, you know, both Sideshow Shufflers, have also been helping with Shuffle and Flow. You know what I mean?
You got to shout out SAC EDM Collective because Kevin is a Sideshow member and he's the one that runs that too. So like they
got it, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, and then you know we got to shout out Abby because she got Kaya Collective out in Florida.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And then you know Gribbs and Gomez with AZ Shufflers. Like,
yeah.
You know, I see y'all out there. You know?
Yeah.
I'll be watching. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like we're all we're all leaders in our own right. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, definitely. Like Daniel is our crew leader, and I'm very proud, you know, to be a member underneath him for sure. But then, like within our own little chapters and areas, we're all kind of doing our own thing as well.
He always says, as much as it's his crew, it's our crew. So
yeah.
Like, you know, I really like took that like, okay, like, you know, we do these, like, you know, go find a little t-shirt spot that make the little merge to like whatever members around, like, oh, I got a couple extra dollars, let me make them a shirt, like, you know what I mean, type. So like that's what I take in, like, let's do this. Okay, got my boy Joey, you know, we've always bounced ideas off of each other, and you know, I really respect his opinion and what he's has to say. So like, you know, it's like, oh, like got this idea here, all right, let's put our heads together, let's make something happen.
Let's hear the pitch, and you know what I mean.
So I'm like, all right, I'm down, like we could do that, like let's get it going, you know what I mean, as long as like just trying to stay and be consistent in San Diego, because like when we do have like a nice big meetup, like everyone comes, and it's great to see all those people in our space that we've been continuing to love and cherish, that, you know, Jolie birthed. So it's just, I just love it, honestly. Like I just love to like do little meets, and like it's like, oh man, I'll make a little late post, and like, you know, 10, 20 people show up, people that I've never even seen before. Like when I post on the Shuffle Flow, it's like, even when we're during the winter time, because you know this is San Diego, and if it drops like below 60 degrees, everyone's scared to come outside.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? You know,
60's a good day in Denver.
Oh yeah, you got 4 clouds out. No one's coming outside. Like, oh my god! Like, you know, so it's just like, oh, it's winter time. It's just raining. There's no snow. You don't gotta like.
Yeah, you're not shoveling. Yeah, I got you.
And I'm just talking about like the city. We're not out in like East County where the mountains are and shit like that. But like, you know, people don't come out as much during the winter. But like, it was just cool, like having a little winter location in Balboa, and just seeing like random people show up. Like, oh, like, you know, like. I've heard of this and I've never shuffled before, but like I just want to come through. It's just like, all right, it's all good. Like you can just come and enjoy yourself, learn, because we get a lot of messages about people always saying like, when's the next class? It's just like, pull up to the meetup, because everyone that teaches classes will be at the meetup, and we're not trying to charge you for anything. Like, you come, you learn, you get to see a bunch of different styles, and then see where you want to go from there. Because like, how do you know that, like, if you're gonna, because like I'm gonna teach a Melbourne class, how do you know that you want to do Melbourne if you actually just only seen people cutting shapes and you thought it was a cutting shapes class? Like it's a whole different other style of form of shuffling. So you're like, oh, and I'm like, hey, look, it's not really the way I do things. Like I'll do it this way, you know, but I could definitely point you in the right direction to someone that does.
Yeah, being a conduit for your own local community, like even if it's not your thing, like you're not going to be the guy in front of the studio class like teaching shapes. You know what I mean? Like we're all using our own special superpowers. You know, at the end of the day, whether that be, you know, a certain style or a certain style or discipline that you've tapped into, or your ability to organize, you know, these things, building a platform in which you can, you know, organize, such as like Shuffle and Flow. I think, you know, you like as leaders in the shuffle community, you used to find like what your niche is, and like that's what you can really help people with. But then having the knowledge of your local community, you can like in this case, if someone wants to learn shapes, like you probably can point them to many different individuals, whether that be in Sideshow or outside of Sideshow, you know, because like you're just forming these connections.
Oh yeah, it really depends on where you are. Like so like. They're like, oh, like I'm just passing through. It's like, okay, where do you live? Like that's like my next question. So, you know, I just been like really just focusing on just like, you know, having that safe space for everyone. And when people want to learn, I could help point you in the right direction of what you want to learn, what style, because there's always that thing like, oh, I want to learn this. What's this move that I see all the time? Okay, who are you following? You know what I mean? Because I remember like I seen like this one video on Instagram, and I seen this person comment like, oh, I wanted to learn this. I've been trying to find some tutorials, so I'm like, oh, I shuffle a lot. Obviously, look at my profile. I'll send you someone's profile who I think is a really good instructor, and they have a lot of tutorials. Boom, tag that person, show them there. That's just, you know, little things that other people can do and I do to always, like, you know, keep a little cohesiveness going down to like, all right, here's a community, here you go.
Yeah, yeah, and with whatever that person wants to do with it, you know, it's really up to them. But what is the you know, because I feel like Shuffle and Flow is like your little local community, and just like this, you know, San Diego community. It's a place where people can conjure and really share the love for the dance. What is kind of your guys' goal and aspirations for Shuffle and Flow between, you know, you, Joey, Jolie, and like the small and the following that you guys have? I'm not gonna say it's small because I've seen your guys' meetups.
I feel like, you know, we just like wanna like eventually like have our own events and functions put together and run by shufflers. So like we got shufflers as DJs, shufflers as photographers, lighting, everything to come down, because we, like, when you think about this community in a whole, we could put on our own, if we put all our heads together, we could throw the fattest festival. That would be stupid sick.
Bad.
If you like, that's not even like a question in my mind.
Yeah.
Like everyone and all the people they know, if we wanted to be like, yo, a shufflers festival. Oh my lord!
And there's some smart cookies in our community. Like there's, and I'm not just talking about, like, you had mentioned a couple things there, like DJing. You mentioned, you know, VJ, like production type stuff. Just photography. Like we also have people who do finance. We also have people who are in law and accounting. You know what I mean? Like all these things. Like,
you trip and fall, and a shuffler sell you a damn house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Like there's so many different skill sets that are outside of raving, you know what I mean, or outside of like things that are seemingly related to raving, that shufflers, I feel like, would just kind of offer up their experience, you know what I mean. I'm right there with you with the ability and capability of being able to throw like a big event, you know, like that. It would be really cool to see, because I think it would be catered to shuffling, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I remember, this is fresh in my head because Trent's episode just came out, but we went to a festival where there wasn't any water. There was water for sale in cans, but it was a festival. It was like a legit festival, like on a farm. It was called shit, I'm blanking on it. Like above grounds or something grounds, but they didn't have just dispensing water there. And it's like, bro, there's people dancing their ass off here. Like we rolled in thick with a big group of shufflers, and like we were all parched and like dehydrated because they were selling like, you know, $7 cans of water like this. And it's like that wouldn't fly if a bunch of shufflers playing this shit. No. You know what I mean?
What type of shit is that? You trying to get somebody to pay for water? Like, that's crazy. You know how much money I would spend in a day?
Yeah, I know, right? So, but I just say all that to say, you know, there would be considerations that would be planned ahead to make it a very comfortable fest and just experience for shufflers. You know what I mean? If all of us were putting our heads together to make that come to fruition.
Yeah, I would love to go to that. I bet you wherever it happened, the floor would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We figure it out. Maybe we can talk offline, or if anyone, you know, wants to run with that, I encourage it, because I think that would be really cool. I guess like another consideration would be like location.
I already have one. So
yeah.
Yep. I bounced it off a person, and they've been asking me. It's been a few years now. Like, you want to bring some shufflers here? And I was like, man, if I could put some people together.
Is it in California?
Yes, it is.
Okay, got it. I think that would probably be the best location for it, because there is a very large density of shufflers out here to begin with. So the path of least resistance, you know what I mean, for a lot of this stuff, I think is crucial.
And I feel like just in general, like Southern California, like shufflers like from all over like just want to come here and like experience they want to experience LA, and I always tell them come down to San Diego. It's super dope here too.
Yeah.
So I remember I always wondered why I was seeing I would see everyone at Movement and Arc and different events, and I'm just like, you guys need to come to Crossed. I see some of y'all at Crossed, but I would love to see all of y'all at Crossed. And this past Crossed, everyone was. I was like, all right, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember you posted this little shuffle meetup spot, and I live right here by.
This Cross is in your backyard, dude.
Yeah,
it's dope.
It's you could literally hear it when I open up my patio door. Walked over there, we already see some people from the Mile High already over there shuffling, and I was just like, oh shit, that was sick, So I was like, hell yeah, it's good to see everyone that I wanted to see over here. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
People took your recommendation and ran with
I mean,
it.
I don't know if they can, but I just felt that. I've definitely voiced it, and I just felt like this is I was like. These same people plus more was at San Diego, and you could have been in there looking at that damn pirate ship all day, just having a good time, maybe losing your face at City Steps, whatever stage you like, but just bury me at City Steps.
Hell yeah, dude. No, Crossed is definitely one of those fests that doesn't disappoint. So, and I'm gonna try my best to make my way over there. It's pretty low key. I think it's pretty low key, but there's always a dope lineup. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's low key. I think I've been there enough where it's just it's been years, and I've seen enough people from different parts of the United States at Crossed, and then on top of that, I've seen that house in Techno Jacket in every state I've went to go dance.
That is true.
Events.
That is true.
I've seen it everywhere, so I know.
I think it's just the frequency in which they do cross. It's twice a year. You know what I mean? I guess that's what makes it low key. It's not a big thing when it happens. I feel because it's it's very
nowadays
consistent.
It sells out.
It
sells out the same day.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Hopefully I can make the fall one. That'll be dope.
Oh yeah, I can find your ticket.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I might have a place to stay. I don't know.
No, you're good. Yeah. Right here.
Awesome, man. Well, cool, brother. I think we're kind of getting towards the end. I really appreciate you just elaborating on origins of Sideshow. How you got started. Also, all these experiences that you've had. Within, whether you were in the crew at that time or out of the crew. I think it gives a really just good impression of what your dance journey really has been throughout. But just to help the audience, learn a little bit more about you, we're going to move on to the last segment, and this is the world famous Final Five. And in this segment, I'm going to ask you 5 questions that I ask all shufflers that I have on the podcast, and we'll see how your responses rack and stack with everyone else. So. First question regarding this is what your favorite musical genre is.
I really don't have a favorite musical genre. It really depends on what day and what outside looks like.
Got it.
That's really a big thing. I do listen to techno a lot, but on those gloomy, almost rainy days, I listen to lo-fi house. On rainy days, I love lo-fi house. And then
is that to compensate for the vibes that the weather's giving you?
Yeah,
or
I just feel it just makes me want to dance more. And then I am a sucker for trance and psytrance.
Got it.
Especially around the full moon time, psytrance all for life.
That's interesting that the weather and the what would you call the pattern of the moon? But those factors are what makes certain genres appealing or not appealing to you. I find that no one has had that no one has described that. You know what I mean? That's
if you know me and you've been around, like when it's a full moon, I am definitely playing psytrance. Like you already know, I'm like, hey, like I'm about to. You guys want to go shuffle in a full moon psytrance? Like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like.
That's dope. That's dope. Full moon was last week, right?
Yes.
Were you out there getting it? So some psytrance?
No, I was. It was coming, so I did celebrate a whole week for my birthday, and then
as we all should, like
yeah. So it was coming down to the end of that week. What did I do? Okay, so I had my birthday dinner. I went to Crab Hut with a few of my friends, Scott, Hollywood Movement, Emily, Jocelyn, Juju, Lindsay, and then I literally was just so tired from like my birthday meetup the day before, and then I went to another birthday party after my birthday meetup. So I was just like, you know, I'm about to hit some birthdayception, like let's go. And like I didn't really sleep, and then I had like a 12-hour workday, and then I like got to like my birthday dinner like 2 minutes before they called our name because everybody was already there, and I'm like the last one, figures.
Yeah.
Right? And I just like ate all that Crab Hut and just like knocked out because like my plan was like last year when Jay was with us, we went to Crab Hut for his birthday. We were supposed to go for mine, but I was so out of it for movement that I'm just like, I just need to work. I didn't go that. Unfortunately, we lost him. And I just wanted to fulfill going to Crab Hut with our friends because I didn't get to do it with him. So I was just like, that was like my main plan. So like I ate, I don't know if you've ever been to Crab Hut, but like it will definitely put you to sleep afterwards. So I literally like came home and I just like fell on my bed sideways and I woke up in the morning like that. I was like, oh shit.
Like kicking your neck and like
and then it was Transcension. So it was like they have a trance event down here in San Diego put on by locals, and there's Transcension, and they had San Diego Trans Family too. And I went to that with a few other shufflers, and I danced to that. I danced there all day, and then left there, came home, and I went to Marco Ferroni later on because I was like, I've always wanted to hear him because he has like sick remixes, and he signed to like Drum Code as well. So I was just like pretty excited for that. And then didn't really do anything the next day because I know we had a phone call.
Yeah.
But I did ride my bike to Ocean Beach, and I ate some Chinese food and rode back here just in time to like talk to you for a little bit to like, you know, get a precursor to what we're doing right now.
Yeah. I think it turned out pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Dude, that's a dope birthday. I need to take a chapter out of your book.
Normally I go to Movement because my birthday is May 30th, so like it's just like...
It always kind of lines up.
Yeah, so like last year was like... That's why I was like, last year, all right, last day of Movement is my birthday, and it was just like... It was sick as fuck. Like, I wanted to go this year, but I just felt like the lineup wasn't calling me the way last year's was. I feel like ARC is calling me. Like, ARC is definitely calling me. And I would love to, like, do the battle that the Chicago Shufflers are putting down together for that one.
Are they doing that with Techno Collective? With
I don't know. I know Mama Tempa is the one that's putting it together.
Okay,
So,
cool.
like, you know, she putting it together. I trust her all day. So I'm like... I'm in there. Let's go.
Yeah, you were talking about it earlier today, and like I think you got me a little bit inspired. I'm not gonna make a guaranteed decision right now.
Yeah, man. I would definitely inspire you to battle for sure because the last battle I did in Chicago, Araya was in Chicago and she ended up like swooping me up, and we're like there, and I'm like talking to her, and I'm just like, "How you gonna be in your hometown and not battle?"
Yep.
And she's just like,
That's good peer pressure.
Oh,
That's healthy peer pressure.
What you talking about? You in your hometown, you ain't battling? What type of shit is that?
Yeah.
If I go back home, you better believe, like, that's why I want to do, like, you know, the Nameless battle, because I was like, I haven't been back to New York in, like, 4 years. You know? So, like, I was like, I want to do that, but, like, it's just too much shit going around, too many trips around that time, so I was like, had to reschedule.
Yeah, and Nameless isn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? They're a strong community, so like they'll definitely be throwing some battles, you know, throughout the years.
I'm definitely gonna try to make it to the next one. Hopefully, it aligns with like my trips that I got going on, because I definitely want to go back home and like eat some Trinidadian food. Damn it, like California, what are you doing? We're not here, like, but it's all right. So.
Got it. Yeah, get some New York style pizza as well. You know, in the process. That would be super cool to have some sideshow representation at the Nameless battles as well, because I don't think I've really seen anyone participate in a Nameless battle from sideshow.
Nope, I don't think there's any of us that are in that like area.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
If I am, someone please correct me. You could just do
it. Respectfully, of course.
Yeah. Don't disrespectfully. It's all right. I can take it.
Got it. Cool. Well, no, that was a tangent and a half, but I loved it. We're gonna move on to the next question. What is your favorite place to dance?
Honestly, where there's no eyes on me.
Okay.
Like if I'm by myself, I like to like go to areas in certain times where I know there's not a lot of people around. But like recently, one of my favorite places to shuffle, well, there's two. Like we got Crown Point, because we've seshed there so many times. Like there's this little area in Crown Point, like at the edge of Pacific Beach, and we always like shuffle in front of the ladies' bathroom. And then it'd be like the convention center over here. Like I post a lot of videos there. There's like stairs, it's like a circular area, and the stairs are all lit up, and they let you like shuffle there all the time, and like, you know, security would never give you an issue. Like they don't really tell you, like, because there's a lot of people working out up and running the stairs.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, you guys gotta go over to the stairs where there's light, and like, you know, been there plenty of times, groups of people late at night just bumping music. I've only been told to turn the speaker away from the building.
Okay.
Like that's only, he's like, hey, like, you know, it's not me, but like they're saying it's a little loud. He's like, maybe if you turn the speaker away towards that, it wouldn't like bounce against the building. I'm like, all right, cool. Okay. No worries. And then kept going. But like that's like two of my favorite spots to shuffle.
Got it. And it seems like you're starting to develop some kind of like nostalgia and sentiment around that, because I just saw you seshing, you know, there with a couple of sideshow homies as well. So it's probably, you know, every time you go there, it probably becomes a little bit more and more special for you.
Yeah,
you know?
And like the Crown Point spot is special because we used to always pull together. It'd be like Joey, Jerome, Jay, myself, Juan, and we just send it there all day and still do. So it's just like that was like our little spot, because you get a nice little sunset. It's right there, you know, if you need to use the bathroom, it's not like you gotta walk away hella far. And I brought a few shufflers that came through here, and everyone just like, yeah, this is a nice little spot.
Got it. Awesome, man. Hopefully I can hit a session with you there soon enough. But as for the next question, what has been your favorite set, show, or festival that you've attended?
Honestly, my favorite non-camp festival is Movement, hands down. Period. That I would die on that hill.
Yeah.
Right. I think like honestly, my favorite set has to be like. There's like, I know like definitely one of the top ones was definitely at Movement last year, when Will Clark was playing at the Stargate stage. And like Will Clark is definitely one of my top favorite DJs, because like, you know, this dude with the beard got the soulful ass techno, you know, anything you hit with vocals, and it's that banging floor to the floor, and I was, oh man, I lose my shit. I remember it was like the day before my birthday, and it was like 94 degrees, and I was with Donovan, and we set off like this dance circle. So many people pulled up, and then I met this guy, it's a black guy, his name is Edo Spins, and he has like locks, and he came up and he's a breakdancer. So like we was like mirroring, then we like step back, and he like pulls up and just like slides on his head and just starts spinning like he's about to drill through the ground. I was like, yo, what? Like, and then it's just sick. Like so many different styles of dancers just started pouring in, and it was literally like that whole. I probably sat down like 2 or 3 times just to like sit down, catch your breath, like wipe the sweat off myself, and just like chug some water and then get up, because it was just like banger after banger. And then Cross 2022. I think it was
spring or fall.
Spring. It was Adam Bayer's set, but damn, his set was fire. But like I think it's Joseph Capriati's set at ARC last year too. That one was, oh my god! Like that was like the best set. Like the way his whole vibe when he came on, I feel like the bass hit me and just like went through me, and I like, you know, when you like those little pictures where people like transcend in like different like sections.
Yeah.
I feel like that happened. I went, what? And I was like, yo, let's go. Like, oh my god, it was so good. Because like my friend Liz, her husband was just like, he was like, Sedd, you ever heard Joseph Caparati? And I'm like, no. And he's like, bro, you need to go to a Sedd. And I was like, okay. No, and like, did not disappoint. Like, my man Tyler did not disappoint me at all. I was like, holy fuck. And then it's so sick. Like, so that's definitely like the top ones.
Got it.
Yeah, definitely the top two is that Will Clark one and Joseph Caparati. And I think Adam Bayer's set for Crossed 2022 spring is in third.
Gotcha. It's so cool when you have like a little bit of blind faith in a homie's recommendation, and then either that be for new music or like you have to catch this set. You know what I mean? Because that happens all the time in like our Mile High chat. It's like, you know, when people say that they're going to festivals, like we're all looking at the lineups, like we're all interested in what the hell is going on, and you'll get a lot of recommendations like, oh, you cannot miss this set, or you cannot, like, you got to be here for this, and it's like, all right, I'm open to all these suggestions.
If you pull me aside and be like, hey, yo, you need to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
yep. Yeah, there's a lot of trust that goes into those recommendations for sure. Awesome, man. Pivoting just a little bit, I want to know what your favorite book is. And if you don't have a favorite book,
I do.
Okay.
I definitely do, but I got like, there's a few that are like, I think it's To Die for the People by Huey Newton.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is that about?
Just being pro-black and like Huey Newton's story about himself and what he did in the Black Panthers. That could be one. The Secret, The Power by Rania Byrne. That's definitely up there. Stephen King and Peter Shrub, Black House. Because I love Stephen King. I read so many Stephen King books. Like Dreamcatcher was definitely like my favorite book for a while. Oh man. I don't know. I think those are like my favorite books though.
Got it.
Those are my favorite books. Like definitely like Stephen King Dreamcatcher, like when I was younger, growing up. Then the Stephen King Peter Shrub written together book, Black House, and then like definitely To Die for the People. Yeah.
Got it.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
It seems like I don't know if those books are like how dark they are on the Stephen King side, or twisted or whatever.
Twisted.
Got it. Got it. That clues me into a little bit of your personality. My good friend and roommate Topher, he's super into Stephen King and just like loves that shit, eats it up, and so it's a lot of fun. It seems like you have a diverse array of different books that you're into, like a little bit of self-development, a little bit of empowerment, history, you know what I mean, and then like some Stephen King. So
yeah,
I think that's
like,
solid.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies, just like, it's not a movie, but like if you ever seen Stephen King's Rose Red, it's like there was like it's like a TV series, but it's like 6 hours about this like Stephen King mansion, like Rose Red, like that was like alive, like it was built on these grounds that were like, you know, haunted,
enchanted,
whatever.
or
yes, and the house like extends itself, like the house, like they built this house one size and it's like bigger, and you could like walk through this door and then walk back and it's a whole different section of the house that you've never seen, and like I just walked through this door and now you're lost in the house for like, you know, so like I love that series. Like I will always sit there and try to like find a good copy of it for once and just watch it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool that you're into that. Moving on to the last question that I have for you. If you could put any message on the main stage production of a large festival, let's think, you know, EDC Las Vegas or Tomorrowland, what would that message say? Thousands of people would be viewing it.
Oh man, it'd be like, probably like treat others the way you want to be treated. And, you know, just at a festival, just know why you're here. Like some people, I know, like, I don't know why, like, some people may go for this and that, but like if you love the music and you love being around that, that's definitely something you need to remember every time you're walking through the like gates of a festival or just in life, like, hey, nothing is guaranteed, and live life as the fullest. And you know, I always want to like leave a situation or people on a good rapport, because I never know, like I've lost so many people. We lost like Jay last year, and like that's just more of a kick to like love people, be loved. And like I think the biggest hardest flex in life is being loved by many people.
Yeah.
That is, there's no bigger flex than that. Like you could do whatever, you could be a trillionaire and people could hate you, but like if you got people, everybody's like, you know, I love you, you do great by me, you're always in people's best interests, and you just got to keep that. Like that's mainly what I would like want people just to know, because you know, considering how mainstream raving has been gotten going, you know, there's always these negative people that go and like steal phones and try to take advantage of people that are at festivals, when that's not why we're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's mainly like what I would like want people, like, hey, see something crazy, call it out. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid. Don't keep your mouth shut. Like, you know, don't just be yourself and treat people the way you want to be treated. That's mainly what it is.
Yeah. I think the intention behind that is being kind to one another,
Of course.
and having you know, that undertone of plur. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I don't think it's dead. And then also, I think bringing yourself back to the present moment. You know, because like, you're right, life is fleeting. There's no guarantees involved, you know, with life. None of us will make it out alive at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, you know, being very much in the present moment at these festivals, being present with your loved ones, because that's usually where you share these experiences with your loved ones. So I think that's a very encouraging message, and I thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Dude, this has been a great talk. Thank you so much for being on, and once again for, you know, being a gracious host. Like being able to do this in your living room is a complete vibe, so I do appreciate that. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the listeners before we get out of here?
I have to share, just remember, like, it's not that serious. Like, you gotta dance to express yourself. It's mainly why we're here. Like, not to get caught up in like any of the other bullshit. Like, you know why you dance. You dance because you love it. Everyone else does. Keep it like that. Period. Like, you know, it's not that serious. That's mainly what it is.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah, I think our sometimes our egos can take over, and this dance becomes something, you know, above and beyond what is healthy. I think at times. So yeah, to kind of bring it back down to like what it actually is, it's just all of us, you know, trying to express ourselves.
So a lot of times we be in our head, and what we do to get out of our head, we go and dance, right?
Yeah.
So what you're doing by yourself and getting out your head, if you can do that in a group of people and have a great time, keep that.
Yeah.
Don't look at, oh, this and that. No, fuck that shit, dude.
Awesome, man.
You know?
Awesome. I love that message. Thank you for sharing that as well. I know that this conversation has resonated with a lot of people, you know, probably especially with our Sideshow fam and things like that. But they all know where to find you. For the people who you know, you're a new face, and you're a new voice for them. What's the best way for people to reach out if they want to get
Instagram, you know, it's what he said. It's not what the said. It's literally WHATHESEDD, what he said. Or you could, like, if you want to come for a meet, you could always message on Shuffle Flow. It's my tuna sandwich, just popping up.
Hey.
Just wondering you're gonna come out of somewhere. But
so cute.
But yeah, you could definitely reach out at shuffle.flow as well. One of us will get back to you about local events and meetups in San Diego, or my personal Instagram.
Got it. Awesome, man. Yeah, and I'm sure you encourage that, people reaching out to be a part of the community,
of course,
and to contribute in any way, whether that just be them showing up and, you know, contributing to their vibes. I think you guys do a great job with creating that platform for everyone. So awesome, man. Well, we're gonna log off here. Thank you so much again for being on, and you know, thank you for putting on the Shuffle and Flow event tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so we're gonna go ahead and get to that and sign off. So thank you so much, brother.
Oh, no worries.
Pleasure. Thank you for listening to the Shuffle Curious podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. We are past the launch, and I'm so appreciative of the support that the show has received. You guys have really stepped up in a huge way, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I know this is a big ask due to the show just starting, and it's very much in its infancy, but any and all support would really be amazing from you guys. So I just wanted to come on and list a couple ways that you guys can help out the podcast moving forward. So first and foremost, subscribing to the YouTube channel would be a huge help. Also sharing and following the show on other social media platforms, such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but in particular, YouTube will really help increase the visibility of the show, and it can help to reach a wider audience as well. In addition to this, leaving a review on anywhere where podcasts are distributed, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, can really leave a positive impression on new listeners, and it will help them discover the podcast more readily. Also, engaging with the podcast, so leaving comments, participating in social media discussions, and just anything that would really help build a community around the podcast would be of great assistance. And please feel free, DM me my personal Instagram at Patty Creates, or the show's Instagram at the Shuffle Curious Podcast, with the spaces being underscores. I would love to hear any feedback, any ideas, any discourse around the show. It would be an honor to hear you guys out and implement some of the ideas and the feedback that you guys have for me. Also, donating to the podcast directly or purchasing a Shuffle Curious shirt would help out a lot. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of energy, and unfortunately money that goes into the podcast, and it will continue to go into the podcast. So let's just get one thing straight here. It's really been a complete joy doing the show, and no matter how much or how little monetary assistance the show receives, we'll still be performing the mission of bringing the Shuffle community together. But with a little bit of help, I'll be able to travel more for these interviews, buy better equipment, be able to compensate all the amazing people who have made the show a reality and have volunteered their time, things of that nature. So buying a shirt would be much more than buying a shirt. And I don't know if you guys realize, but if I ever saw someone at a festival wearing a Shuffle Curious podcast shirt, you would be my best friend in a huge way. I'd love to see it, and I'd give you a big bear hug. So you can purchase these shirts on the Instagram bio of the show, also the show's website, and then I'll have links in the show notes as well. As for the donation, just please send me a DM if you feel inclined to donate to the show. I will definitely entertain that, and if you're so inclined, that would be absolutely amazing. I'm not going to create a button for donating to the show or GoFundMe or anything like that. It would just be a conversation between you and I. So, and I thank you for that consideration. But lastly, you guys have supported the show just by listening. Also listening to this whole outro, that's awesome. You guys rule for doing that. And I just cannot understate my appreciation for all of you guys for being a part of this crazy ride that it's been so far. So without further ado, I wanted to get on, give you guys a couple of ways that you can support. You can run with as many or as little of them as you would like, but I thank you, regardless for your listenership and support. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. Please get out there and dance, stay curious, and I will see you in the next episode, friend.